Okay, we're gonna go through 6 levels with each one have as a different drum instrument. We're gonna first play on each one in 2 different styles. One style is wild style, is just exploration, just going crazy, and another is solid style. Okay? And when I say solid style, I want everybody to play together and try to hold a rhythm section that would make sense for a track or piece of music. We're gonna play each one a few times, get some feedback, get a bit of sense of how you felt, maybe make some changes, try again. In the end, we will select out of these 6 the top ones that are most preferable. And in the next session, we're gonna go dive deep into it to see how we can make it better. And in the last session, we're gonna put it in a more musical context with more instruments. All right? Everybody, go to a drum.
Pink.
Okay? So go ahead and start playing. I'm gonna join you guys. I'm gonna start a timer here. Okay? Go wild style. And what you guys felt from this? Yes, Todd.
The one thing I've always kind of had trouble with is the latency every time I'm trying to hit right on the beat. Like so I was attempting to hit my clap like right on the 2 and the 4, but it never happens. It's like so yeah, that's a big deal for me.
Anyone else? Rave, what do you
I kept on missing it, and I'll be doing that, then I'll accidentally hit like down here towards the wood and completely miss it, thinking that's part of it. But that'll give it a lesser sound.
Moonwatcher.
Good one.
In this kind of situation, it's hard to kind of like get the rhythm right because of the latency issues. There was also a kind of a resync that went on halfway through, which interrupted my playing. And I thought the best way I could contribute was to play a small line, stop, play again, in and out.
Well, I think I need some haptic feedback or something, so I know when I'm.
You don't have haptic feedback? I do.
Well, I mean, if there is, I need more. I'm not getting much.
Okay.
I couldn't really hear my part anyway until I played around with it.
Let's do a round. Everybody play alone. I'll start, so we all recognize our sound. Then we can play a little bit without quantization, and then let's try again with quantization. Just now that we recognize our sound, okay?
Okay.
So I'm a short hi-hat. Okay. Like
Bongo.
Okay. Clap. You got a big snare there. You're the kick drum. Okay, you're like a hi-hat. Maybe I can make it a bit higher pitch, like a 808 hi-hat. Okay, let's play now without quantization. Ready?
Yep.
Let's try to go ahead and just play solid first, okay? Okay, let's play wild. Now let's turn on the quantization back on. Any new feedback on what you guys felt now? A bit more in control, or new after playing also without the quantization? And then, yeah, Damien?
In the first instance, without quantization, I could not figure out where the sound is. And I'm somebody who teaches samba, to like groups of 20, 30 people for the last 25 years. I couldn't make out where the rhythm was, what the rhythm was. So it was very difficult for me. Yeah.
Anyone else agree with that?
Same really. Same kind of thing. I feel like we need a click or something to play against.
Yes, Todd?
I found that, I mean, one of the things that I always tell my kids is that, if you don't know where to play because everybody's playing something different, use your eyes to look at where the person who's leading, and so what I did was I looked at where you were playing your hi-hat and I could sync with you. And so that I feel like just having those kind of simple cues are helpful.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
it's really good because
you
I
know-
felt like super lost in trying to connect with everyone.
Can you say it again, Moon? You're
was hard.
a bit quiet.
Like,
Can you say it again?
sorry. It felt like hard to connect with everyone else. That like to find like a common rhythm and to start a flow. Like it was like
Having a metronome to play on
Yeah.
top.
Yeah.
You guys want to try again with and without?
Yeah, I'm still going to turn off my quantization, but leave on the metronome. Yeah.
Okay, let's turn off the quantization.
Yeah, let's do that.
Why don't you lead?
Am I syncing with the
No,
click?
no.
Okay. See, that's the problem, I think.
Exactly. That's kind of what I'm trying to lead you guys into understanding, that there's technical issues. We will never be in sync. It's not like being in real life. Okay. Do you want to try with the metronome, with the quantization now? Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's worse for me.
Let's play a bit more wild, solid beat. Okay, let's stop. Cool, guys. Okay, now everybody, please grab a bubble and take your bubble and bring it to the floor under. Okay. So I'm gonna give you guys a brief explanation of how this one works in case you don't know. Please don't touch any of the dials; they don't matter for this case. Maybe just the volume if you don't hear yourself enough. So this one activates both when you tap it and when you change between regions. Switch between regions, left and right, up and down. And if you go more deep inside and move, it's gonna be more quiet, and more out on top is more loud. Let's play like half a minute of just wild style, okay? So I'm trying to play now a solid beat that could work well as a rhythm section for a track, okay? What do you guys think? Let's start. Todd, you want to go first?
Definitely gets me in the flow state a lot quicker than the single hits.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have both a positive and a negative for this one. The
Please.
positive is that it's easy to go like from here to here. But on the flip side, just playing that one, it can be a little difficult just to keep my cruiser in that single note going to exactly that same spot.
I mean, if it was bigger, would that solve it? Because you would have more room?
Yeah, but then when you're trying to play a quieter one, it'll be a little bit harder to just press all the way in.
Ah, I see what you mean.
know?
So you can't control the volume because you have to go through the loudest part. Is that what you mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool. That's a good one.
That's good feedback.
Martin?
Yeah, I kind of like this because I can hold a longer one.
Ooh, I didn't even try that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's good for me. That kind of combination of the two.
But I feel like kind of weird in a way because it's in a way like I'm hitting, right? Or I'm moving my hands, but it's like it's not finding like if I'm moving my body, I would like it if I can be like way more corporal about it. Like, okay, if I'm just I'm limited in this axis, but I feel like I can go way freer if I can actually move my body way more, right? Like instead of this middle ground of just hitting, or it's like in a weird middle ground of hitting or moving. Like, okay, I would like to decide, okay, like, okay, if I'm going to move my body, I actually want to make music with my whole body movement.
Damien?
Okay. This gave more musical sense. I think everybody was able to play something a little bit more cohesive because of the quantization and the way that the sound changes when you break a collider, go into a new collider. it doesn't look like a drum. So I've never used this as a drum machine before.
Sure.
And it also takes up a lot of kind of like virtual space just for one sound. But saying that, it's really nice what you could do. Martin was doing the same sound in two different ways, which made it a bit more interesting in terms of what you could do with the sound. I like what Rafe said about, once you're in there, you can't actually keep that note going.
Actually,
Perhaps
you can click trigger to re-trigger it inside once you're inside. This I forgot to say.
Gotcha. Okay, so there is a hardware solution for that, which is that trigger.
Yes. The other one, people were saying it didn't feel like they were activating the sound when they wanted to. Did you guys feel the same here, or did it feel better? Yes, Todd.
It's a brand new, just like Damien said, it's a brand new instrument. So you're kind of like enjoying the fact that it's like, oh, you're discovering that you're making good sounds on accident up there. It's so recognizable. You're like, I'm not doing the thing that I know that if I had something that looked like this was in front of me. So it's like you can get into that more imaginative state because you're it's like you have a space instrument in front of you,
That's a fantastic point.
Also, because with the drums, and playing with you have like an analog reference of how it should behave.
Yes.
So it's easier to notice what's not working in this instrument when there's not like something exactly instrument like that in the physical world. Like I can forgive more like those things because it's like it feels more native to the medium instead of just trying to replicate a physical instrument.
I think it's both points, right? That it doesn't look like a drum, so you don't expect it to feel like a drum, and that also it's somehow more connected to the medium. I think that what do you guys think? I kind of feel also like the gesturally when you move between sections, it's like there's no expectation to hit something, and it feels more responsive.
Yes. Because I've never liked when I hit like a virtual virtual drums. Like it just has never felt really good. It's like I hit it and I need like a stop feedback and I don't have it. So it's like if I want to go crazy, I just can't because I will miss something that I know like in a physical drum it's going to sound like that. So this I can just like go. It's just more freeing and more fun.
I kind of have addressed that issue before in my own research and using hard surfaces to guide your hand. So I've actually positioned this on my table now.
Oh yeah, and it works better.
And I get this kind of like passive feedback. I get this bounce, which is necessary.
Guys, let's move on to the next floor. Take your bubble. Let me give you a quick demo. Similarly, you have two hands you can use, but when you stay in a region, you don't have to click anything, it just plays a pattern. A very simple pattern. It's just some time division. So here it's half a note, quarter notes, dotted
eighth note,
eighth note, 16 and 32s. If you go more out, it's like the same like before. It's louder. The deeper you go, it's quieter. And on the bottom, it plays only first note and then quiet. And left and right is pitch. And there's another cool thing here that you can twist your controller to make the sound more closed.
Oh, nice.
Or more open.
Oh, that's cool.
Be warned, all of these samples are very short, so you might not hear the effect until you reach the really sweet spot, which is kind of like really when the controller is upside down. But then when you turn it more, it opens back up because it thinks you get it up. Okay, guys, go ahead. Nice.
Oh, that's good. There we go.
Perfect. Okay. You guys want to comment?
That was the first one that feels like you're playing music together.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah.
We weren't even trying, and we managed just to end thing automatically synced us.
Yeah, I didn't even say to play solid, and it went kind of from exploration to a real steady beat.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that working with electronic instruments in classroom situations where everyone's plugged into an amplifier, I tend to have a rule, and it might be an algorithm that could be applied in some ways, that the more the sounds that you produce, the less volume you get. So if some kids really like, wah, you turn it down, the kid still gets to express themselves, they're just not that big an impact. You know
So
what? Perhaps there's...
That could even be like a bit more programmatic here. If you do this, maybe it should automatically lower the volume a bit.
Perhaps
that's good.
That's good in a group situation when you're maybe 2 or 3 people and you want to make that impact. It's taking choice away from you.
I like that. That's a really interesting idea too. If you have more information, it lowers the volume automatically. Does everybody think that makes sense?
Right. I was thinking from a host standpoint, you could also have like that could be a setting, a preset that, like, okay, if we know there's going to be a lot of wildness, we can put that preset on. I mean, that's a simple fix.
Okay. It could also be just this local. So in your local environment, you can do whatever you want in your local sound bubble, but then whatever goes to the master mixer, there's the person that's in control, and they can adjust the volume. Or maybe there's like even like tips, like if you play loud, so you still have that range of control. If you play loud, then if you play a lot, then make it more quiet. Anybody else wants to add?
Well, this one. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Moon.
In terms of performance, this was the most fun by far. It feels like the most native, and also kind of having this guidance. Okay, I put a hand and this generates this crazy sound. That sometimes when you play in VR, it feels like you want to do more, but maybe the interface, whatever, doesn't allow you to do that. So here's like, it feels like I could express what I was feeling and go crazy and moving up and down, left and right. Like it just felt really good and helped me to get into a flow and to actual fun. Yeah.
I was going to say, it's like, when we were talking before about like being able to hear or know when we were playing, the visual reminder is really helpful, because it's like it actually, oh, that's me because I'm doing that exact thing. So that helps you find yourself a lot easier.
Absolutely, I agree. That's a really good point for this one. You can really see the sound. Okay, grab your bubbles, everyone.
Yeah.
I can give a quick demo for anybody that doesn't know how this works. You have here 3 nodes on
Let's
each
just
one,
move this one up here to 2,
and you press the button of the color to see and hear this sample play, and you just have 5 different regions with 5 different presets of patterns. You can also edit the pattern in this button. You can see all the different patterns that can be played. And if you move to the right, it's open sound. You move to the left, it's a bit more short. And you can also grab it with the trigger to make the pitch go up. But I don't want to edit patterns right now. I just want everybody to just play with what's available here. So you can switch things on, off, and move to change patterns. Okay, let's take a break. Second. Oh. All right, how did that feel? What do you...
I have a little trouble grabbing the bubbles. I kept on trying to grab them. I'll move them, but I would like try to grab them and move them up here, something, and they wouldn't completely go. When I go to move a different bubble, I'll still be moving this one.
I've had that issue with when playing it as well. It's almost like trying to catch a fly with chopsticks. Where's it going?
The presets kind of already allow for like things are going to sound pretty good right out of the gate. So I think that's a great feature.
One thing I have about this instrument is that it blocks the view of everybody around me. It's fairly large. It blocks visual connections with other people in the group, and in mixed reality too.
Martin, what do you think?
This is, I mean, I've got a bias with this because this is one instrument I never use. I just don't like it.
Okay.
I'm not interested in what it does, and I don't like the interface. I can see in a group, in a group with other people, maybe it's a bit better. But to me, it always seems like, Damien's just talking about the space it takes up, and I think it doesn't really justify the space it takes up on my headset when I'm looking for things to do. And the XY kind of thing I like, but there's always a feeling that you could just do anything and it'll sound okay. And there's times where that's a good there's times that's a good thing, but I don't really like work like that, And I've done a lot of things where a lot of classes we go into a room with kids, with young offenders and prisoners and stuff, and they really react differently to different interfaces that you show them. And I think this would be an interesting one for that. They don't like keyboards, they don't like anything that looks like a keyboard, but things are going more towards pads. If they know they can just grab this and wiggle this around, it's going to do something. In that context, it's a good thing. But like I said, I'm not. I think we sounded better upstairs.
I think once with this specific instrument, like you find a certain group or certain pattern, in some ways it feels kind of limited. Like I don't know, like that I can just go beyond what the presets are in here, right? So the presets allows me. So it sounds good, like immediately once you get a group, but I just feel like it's kind of limited instead of what else I can do. Like it just like it does this, and it's basically that.
I kind of feel from you guys like, okay, it has some benefits, like okay, it's kind of very instant, like Todd said, but the expressivity is pretty low, and also the sense of control because everything is kind of pre-programmed.
One thing I've noticed with younger kids, they don't really know that they're not making the actual beats happen. They just hear what they're hearing and they know that they're doing it. And I feel like there's an intrinsic value to I just made this choice and this sound came out to this instrument that other instruments don't get as clearly. So
one last thing.
Yep.
I always put sliders and attach them to these knobs because when I'm playing as a drummer, I find it fiddly, too tight to get in and do little finite movements. When my hands are moving so fast, I like to be able to reach out, make a quick maneuver and a quick effect.
Okay, guys, let's move on. We already at the 1 hour mark. I hope you guys can stay. We have only 2 stations left. Please grab bubbles. So the way this works is that you have a bit similar to the 2 levels before. So you have here you have quarter notes. If you go more down, it's quiet, but it also covers it up with like some filter, so it kind of muffles the sound. This one only works with one hand, by the way. You can still you can do the roll to close the sound and open. So rolling the controller, twisting. Now this is quarter notes, 8 notes, 16, and 32. But this axis is the change. It doesn't change the pitch. It gives you space. So if here is every quarter note, here it's gonna be one note, one quarter note on.
Oh, nice.
And here you have like the dotted. So you have 1 quiet, quiet, 1 quiet, quiet, 1, and the same here. You have 8 notes, and then 1 yes, 1 no, and here.
Cool.
So you have a bit more variation of patterns because it uses not just one axis but 2 axes for the pattern. Okay, and here on the top you can actually change the volume also, like a gain, and right and left controls the pitch. So you can play it with 2 hands or just set it up like that with the pitch that you want and then play this pattern. Okay, so let's start.
Oh, it's good.
Let's try to play more solid, like a groove, right?
There we go.
One, how did it feel compared to the other instruments, or in general? Did you feel like you were in control?
It
Did you
felt
feel like-
weird just playing it with one hand.
I felt a little cramped. I love it. I think if it's a little bigger, because I feel a little bit like this. I'm on top of my hands, so if it was a little spread out, or if it was this was the left and this was the right, and everything was really that might if it was a strip as opposed to like something. But yeah,
Damien, you have thoughts? Martin,
I really like it in terms of, you know, again, it's one of those instruments you have to explore to find out what it does. So, and there is, I found out that, you know, you can set, and whenever you release, it gives you whatever your last preset was, or whatever your last, and so it doesn't have a little signifier, it doesn't have like a little bubble like you have in some of your instruments.
It's missing a lot of visual feedback. Yeah.
Aye, yes. But other than that, I think I could have a lot of fun with it. Again, you know, I think it's quite deep. It's maybe having shallower, and I don't know. Maybe it's just my own thoughts.
Martin?
Not really, because I think it's too much like the other ones we used earlier. This kind of grid-based thing, I think, has a lot of potential in general. I think almost like if you combined maybe what this does with the one we tried a couple of floors up, because I mean, you know, you want expression as well, and so do I. And I think the more you can get out of it, you don't want to have to go to a separate instrument to get a different type of expression. You know, I mean, I play bass and I play the instrument, which is like a really expressive instrument. And that's the whole thing for me, is that kind of just those minute kind of hands-on tweaks that can really send it a different direction, you know.
Kind of lost, so to say. Because all the other ones you could play with two hands and get two different types of sounds.
And it's inside it. So from a performance aspect, and I don't know, it felt good. Like just like on a feeling, it just didn't feel limited. You know, when you have that small grid and the controllers is like, I just the fact that I can move more. I really like that.
Let's take the bubble, and then after this last one, we're gonna do a last test. Okay, so this one is really the most experimental one. So I'll give you guys an explanation of how this thing works. As I said, it does not have any visual feedback, so it's a bit hard to control, but hopefully you understand what is the difference between this and the other one. This one focuses on all the three axes of movements are just designed to control the pattern. There's no yet dynamic control like sound, pitch, anything like that. So it might feel a little bit limited, but I hope you take that into account. Some of you might be familiar with Euclidean rhythms generator. So if you go deep into it, so if I'm like here on the surface, you see here. Please listen. Don't play yet. You see here that in the back there's a number subdivisions. If I'm really, and you can see for each hand. This is at 4 now. If I go in, it's going to be 8 notes. If I go more in, 16, and if I go more in, that's 32. Same like the other one, but the difference is that if you go up, you have hits. So if I'm at 4 subdivision and 4 hits, it's gonna play all the beats. If I go 1, it's gonna play only 3 beats. If I go more down, it's gonna play only 2 beats out of the 4. And here it's only gonna play 1. And on this side, you have offset. So let's say, for example, now this just plays 1 hit on a 4 subdivision. If I move it here, the offset is going to be 0. It's going to be the 1. It's going to play the 1. If I move it here, it's going to play only the 2. and so on. And if I go all the way here to 16 notes, you see that it plays only 8 hits, or 7 hits, or 10 hits, 11 hits within one bar. So actually holding this region really plays a very precise pattern. And if I move it here, it's going to shift the pattern over time. Now, another thing that I just discovered from the last session that maybe we would like to try is that there are actually, because of that, there are a lot of different grooves inside of this, but you don't see them. So maybe you would want, as you play, you would want to change the position or scale of this thing as you play. Please feel free to do so.
Yeah, Rave. That's a great idea.
Okay, stop. Some drama. 2 minutes. Everybody quickly give their impressions, and then we're gonna vote on for the next session which instrument we want to dive into.
I'd love to do a thing where like, oh, I found a sweet spot. I want to put a little marker there.
Yeah, that would be nice.
A marker that freezes
Maybe
it, or just so visually you can find it again.
Yes, visually I can find it again.
Cool,
so just
cool.
like a little dot or something, or a star.
Cool. Damien?
I really like the potential of this. It needs more visual feedback. Having the information on the corners, it kind of makes sense when you're looking at it, but not so much when you're in the middle of it. I'd love to see this one from you can scale this one with great effect, I think. And again, what Todd said, leaving little markers in it to be able to maybe quick reference them externally, or whether you have to reach in again. But I like the ability to kind of like dip in, create something, and stick it there. I think there's great potential in it.
It almost seems to me, based on your feedback, like this is not a performative instrument. It's a programmatic instrument with a 3D interface. Like
Not
it sounds
necessarily.
like you want to set up and freeze it, and then like be able to change it. So you can kind of play like this. Maybe you can loop it, but it's a bit more like the one from Bouncy Beats, where you can just select a pattern. It just has a lot more patterns that are automatically generated.
True. I think that's true, but I think in terms of, in terms of like just a spaceman.
That's an interesting idea. That's pretty good.
Yeah, inhabiting the space is exactly what I was thinking.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, inhabiting the space is exactly what I was thinking.
Last thing, let's take each bubble. Each one takes 2 bubbles and place them on the floor number that you like the most. Okay. 3 and 5 from Rave. Martin.
Where am I? I think I'm on 3. It's the grid.
Yeah. Yes.
That's it.
Only
Don't have a
3?
second choice.
So you can put 2 votes on 3. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And who am I? Damien.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with 3 and 5, but I would go 3 and 6 if I could change the parameters.
Okay, guys. It sounds like we can do 3, 5, and 6. Would that be everyone happy? But we can dive deeper next session on what makes each one special, and maybe we can find a way to combine them into see if it makes sense to combine them. Actually, see what is good about each one, and make the ultimate thing. What I really love that we discovered is that number 6. It's almost like another drum instrument that is a full body, like pattern generator. It's almost could be a separate thing. Or that you could work on 2 different things. One that is more like in control, and another one that's just like a game almost, that you can kind of move your body. But we can talk about it more next session.
Okay.
Thank you guys so much for staying so
Okay.
long over time.
Thank
It was
you.
really great.